solution is not to take Africans and move them to Europe. The solution is to free Africa from certain Europeans who exploit it and allow these people to live off what they have.
Berlin Conference gave us countries like Gambia, Djibouti, Burundi, Central African Republic, Togo, Lesotho, Eswatini. The list goes on.
Congo is the richest. What you call the Berlin Conference. Go and Google it.
Yeah, the Berlin Conference.
It's not a Berlin Conference.
Where they got together and they decided how they were going to split up Africa amongst themselves.
It's not Berlin Conference. Ask me what it was.
What was it?
It was a Congo Conference. The subject,
Since then,
the subject matter of the Berlin Conference was not Africa. It was Congo.
The DRC is in big trouble. They are about to make a deal that may change everything.
The United States has made it its business to bring peace to the Democratic Republic of Congo as it seeks to cash in on its minerals. US President Donald Trump on Thursday, through his advisor on Africa, Masad Boulos, made it clear that he expects a swift resolution to the security crisis plaguing Eastern DRC to make it possible for American private investors to move in.
In the history of our country, and don't let some of these politicians go around saying, because I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything, sir.
America must never tell us what to do. The same United States, which is furious at being cut off from the riches of Burkina Faso, cannot tell us what to do.
Remain slaves forever. I told you once. There are those who are slaves in their minds. They can only serve their master. And those people try every time to manipulate you.
Hey, this is Janetta, and I have a special guest with me this afternoon. Her name is Faith Opio. Yeah, she's a Kenyan and born right here in Tanzania. And we have something important to bring to you today, so I needed Faith to help me because you know that sometimes it takes two. And the message we want to put out today, Faith, is very important.
Very important that most people don't know about it.
They don't know about it, and today is this year is really important. So many things that happen, but this is 140 years from the time that they had what they call the Berlin Conference in 1984, and it ended in 1985. It was really only 3 months old, 3 months. But there were some serious things that happened in that Berlin Conference. Would you read that for me? Let's read it. And there's a quote I want you to read, that quote of what that man says, that if you don't know your history, what did he say?
It says, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. In other words, you're bound to repeat it for those who don't know their past.
Yeah, so that's what we're seeing today, isn't it?
That is it.
Okay, read.
140 years later, the Berlin Conference is still haunting Africa. The Congo is crying out. Let's go back 140 years ago. The year was 1884. European powers gathered in Berlin in Germany. They didn't come with peace. Instead, they came with maps, greed, and lies. They sat around a long table in Britain, France, Germany, Belgium, Portugal, Italy, Spain, and even the United States was invited to observe. Not one African was present. Not one African voice was heard, and yet they divided on an entire continent as if it was just a piece of cake.
Okay. Now, let's look at this. Okay? Not one African. It's our continent. But what happened is, in 1865 in the United States is when slavery was abolished. And it was abolished some other years, and I think Europe abolished slavery before. But that wasn't good enough for them. So they actually had already gone into Africa because they were getting slaves out of Africa, right?
All right.
And so they had some kind of conflicts about Africa between those people that you read about, you know, the people from Spain, Germany, Portugal.
Yeah.
They were fighting each other. And so what happened is they decided to get together. And when they got together, guess who was the target? Africa. Because Europe has very little wealth. They were they're very impoverished. And this is one of the reasons why they had stretched out all over the different parts of the world. Now, England had colonized some countries in like Jamaica and France, Haiti, and the United States, the Americas, what they call the Americas, which now called United States. And yes, they had all been, those countries were all in those different areas. And Spain was also in the Americas. But this time they had their eyes set on Africa.
Does that mean Africa is a rich continent?
Africa is a wealthy continent. And for one thing, it's close to Europe, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, let's see what else happened with this Berlin Conference.
Okay. So from 1884 to 1885, these powers carved Africa into pieces just for their own gain. They took gold, diamonds, rubber, ivory, and even human labor. Who does that?
They do that.
Ooh.
But you know, they came here for something, and we had plenty of it.
Yeah.
But since that time, we have added on to all those things. We not only have those things, but we also have silver, we have copper, abundance of copper. We have tin. We also have lithium that they use for batteries, cobalt, and all these kind of rare minerals that they need in today's world for the technology that we have. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's even more today than it was then. All right, read on.
They didn't come to help Africa. They came to own it, to control it, to bleed it. And
What?
this is how colonization became law on paper, signed, stamped, and sealed in Berlin.
And now, I don't know where they're going to sign this paper that President Trump made an agreement with this president of Congo. This time, for the scramble for Africa, the scramble for Congo, it is not between those Europeans because they're together with the United States. The UAE and the United States, they're all one body now because really there are Europeans. America, the United States, whites are Europeans, okay?
Yeah.
And so they have gotten a call from the Congo. So Africans involved this time. But the scramble is the same because the scramble is for those things, the wealth. It's not for the welfare of the African people. It's for the wealth of the African people. But most of us don't know that we're following a pattern of history that happened to us before. Okay, read.
That's true. But here's what they didn't plan for. Africa survived. Now let's bring it today, 2025. The Congo is crying again, not from colonizers in suits, but from war, confusion, and foreign manipulation. And once again, the wealth of the Congo is on the table: gold, coltan, cobalt, and diamonds. The minerals that power the world, from your smartphones to your electric cars. And guess what?
What?
The president of the Congo has reached out, not to the United Nations, not to the African Union, but to Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, to negotiate for peace.
The United States has made it its business to bring peace to the Democratic Republic of Congo as it seeks to cash in on its minerals. US President Donald Trump on Thursday, through his advisor on Africa, Masad Boulos, made it clear that he expects a swift resolution to the security crisis plaguing Eastern DRC to make it possible for American private investors to move in.
Can you talk about the discussions for a deal with your country?
Très bien, merci. Bonsoir à vous.
Thank you very much. Good evening to you. We are looking for partnerships, and we have established partnerships with many other countries, and we think the United States of America, given its role and influence around the world, is an important partner to have. And we are very happy to see that with the Trump administration, things are moving a lot faster on both sides.
Untapped deposits are worth an estimated $24 trillion. What would you need to happen to move forward with that relationship?
We want to extract these minerals, but also process them, as this would create a lot of jobs. And we want a partnership that will provide lasting peace and stability for our countries, which we need.
Negotiate for peace. Donald Trump from the United States, where we have gone, we tore up Iraq, we tore up Libya, we went and had a war in Vietnam, we just left Afghanistan after 20 years. And we sent a bomb just recently to bomb Syria. So they came to the United States for peace.
For peace? So ironical. And in return, he's offering the wealth of the Congo just like the old days.
Yes, and you know one thing he said?
Yeah.
And we're going to show them in the video we have, that they said that this is a good deal for the interests of the United States and for the interests of Europe. And also they said that what they're getting out of the Congo will amount to trillions of dollars. So what we're going to get for it, what the Congo people will get for it, are billions of dollars. Do you know the difference between trillion and billion?
That's a whole lot of money.
Ooh.
So we are being treated as some peasants.
As a slave again.
Yeah, like a bargaining chip. That's what they're using us for.
That to bargain with.
Yeah.
But the foolish thing about it is that because we don't know our history, I don't believe that president of the Congo or President Kigali that are making agreements, but really was the president of Congo, they called him, that they really know their history. Why would you go to people that set up your destruction and you're calling them to help you? That's like calling a doctor that gave you, operated on you and almost killed you.
Yeah.
You won't call him to fix it, right?
Fix it again, you can't. And one thing I'm seeing in this story is that the Europeans know their history. They know how they started and it's progressive. But in Africa, we're only focused on the current situation. We don't have that interest to check what happened, our history and everything.
Well, you keep on reading, you see why. Because when they came in, they conquered us and took us over. And when they did, they constructed everything. But let me tell you something, and I think it'll say there, we didn't give it up without a fight.
Yeah.
Our ancestors fought for this, they died for this, and 140 years later, we're giving it away.
Yeah.
And I don't know what our ancestors are thinking. You always hope your ancestors can really see you and hear you and know, but I hope they don't, I hope they're not hearing this after just 140 years that we called them, not they called us.
Yeah.
We called them to come. Keep reading. Ooh. I mean, this is just, it's breathtaking.
It's so sad. Africa was treated like a bargaining chip, but the question is, will history repeat itself? Or will Africa finally say no more?
Well, that's where we come with Ibrahim Traore in, right?
Yeah.
A Burkina Faso. That's what he's saying. He said no more. And since he said no more, they're trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Because he says it's ours. He did his own refinery. And that's what they said even on their videos that they had. That we're not going to be refining that gold from the Congo.
Yeah.
They're going to be refining the gold. So we're not going to get much at all for the gold. They will get as much for the gold, for the benefit. They didn't say anything in there about building businesses and progressing and things here in the Congo. They didn't say anything about that. They said they'll bring peace to the Congo. But their peace is going to be bought by weapons they're going to put into the Congo. They're going to bring their military, their planes, their bases, their weapons. They're going to be actually holding us at gunpoint.
Yeah.
We asked them to come in. Can you imagine?
Our choices really are catching up to us. Yeah.
Well, keep reading. There's some reason behind this because their tactics. See, one thing about it, they had over 300 years, us in slavery prior to this time, to get to know our character, get to know us and understand us. We didn't understand them, but they understood us. Okay? So since they understood us, they understood our spirituality, they understood our hopes, they understood our how we are, how we react, and in fact, they even helped mold and model that. Because even in slavery, they broke us up, families up, they broke tribes up, they broke different kingdoms up. They wouldn't let the Chagas be with the Maasai. They didn't take the Maasai in, but they wouldn't let the different tribe, what they call tribe, the different people from different kingdoms and clans be together. They broke them up. That's kind of like when they came over here and to Africa. Keep on reading, you'll see what they did. Yes.
Let's dig deeper. Because the world must know, the Berlin Conference never really ended, it just changed clothes. And if we don't speak now, they'll carve us again. But this time, not with maps, with contracts, with sanctions, with weapons, and with fake peace.
That's what they just, in fact, what I love about the white man is that he actually tells you what he's going to do, but you don't believe it.
Don't believe it.
And that's what he says in that video. They got contracts. We're going to sign an agreement with them. And do you know what? The Indians signed an agreement with them. Everybody that signs an agreement with them, they go back on their agreements. They go back on their agreements.
And if you have your signature on it, what do you have? You don't have to escape.
Even if you have your signature, they don't acknowledge their agreements. You find me an agreement. They agreed with Russia on something, and they went back on the agreement. They agreed with China on something. They go back with the agreements. They agree with this. They go back on their agreements. So we're signing an agreement to them for peace. We're getting what we call peace, with them guarding us and keeping us in control, like some guard, like some, at the jail or something like that, where they got control of you. They control you. They control us. And we agreeing to it, where we didn't agree to it before. Our ancestors died to keep this from happening. And look at this. Keep reading.
Africa, it is time to remember so that you can finally rise. A miracle woman should face my pudding. Yeah.
Say that again. Say that again.
A miracle woman should face my pardon.
Okay. Well, there is a little bit more, so we don't want to be done because there's not something final about this. But we're going to stop it for right now because we need to talk about how they brainwashed us and how they took advantage of us took what we believed and gave us their European God and brought it over in Bibles, killing us while they were killing us and stealing from us and denying us and changing our languages. That's what they did, so we don't like each other. And the reason why we're having so much problems, and they knew it, if they split us all up and they take our land, they split. So like, say like Nigeria. Like Nigeria is the Hausas, the Igbos, the Fulanis, this. All of them were Nigeria and the Benin. All of them were kingdoms within themselves, and they made those people go together. Well, those people had different cultures. They had different ways what they ate. They had different styles. Their tribal wear was not of the same. How even they did their hair, whatever they did, there was a difference. You could tell the difference between a Hausa and a Yoruba. You could tell the difference. But they came and we all look, we're wearing the same thing. We're doing some of the same things. They've changed this. And so there's a fight within us for that we had. And we know we're not alike. It's not that we don't like each other. We are not alike. You are not a Nigerian, are you?
No, I'm not.
You're not a Nigerian. You're not an Igbo, are you?
No, I'm not.
No, you're not an Igbo. And there's some things that Igbos do that your culture is you won't do. And so to try to put these people together is causing us the problem that we have today. Today. I come down as an American and I say, well, they don't really like us much because, because they thought we were just slaves. And we coming back here and we're acting like we're somebody. That's all that stuff has to do with what they put in our heads. So we're going to reach out with this today, and I sure hope that, thank you so much, Faith, because you helped me to get that out, and we have the second part to this. And we'll do this other part. We got to do it soon so people will know and understand. People your age, how old are you, Faith?
23.
You need to know. Aren't you tired of being broke?
I am.
Aren't you tired of trying to see if you can get a job overseas? Aren't you tired of finding out you come from a rich continent, but you don't have a penny?
Applying green card every year just to get
a green card to go and leave your country to go to another country and to leave your family and your culture to go and give your life to somebody else's culture and somebody else to build somebody else's country. Well, let's put this word out, baby. That man, that wonderful young man in Burkina Faso, I would say he is a man of God. A lot of people say, no, he's not. But you know what? It was not the foreigners, it was not the people that were not related or culturally related to Jesus that helped to hang him. It was the people that he came for. You see what I mean? So some of those things that the president of Burkina Faso is going through right now is not from the people on the outside, but it's the people that he's been sent here to help and to lead them, because you cannot tell me that the Most High did not put in him a desire to make a change for his people. What do you think?
That's true. It's always what's within us that ends up biting us.
That's it.
So is it that we just don't see, or we choose not to see?
Because we've been trained not to see. Just like we don't like what color we are. Just like we don't like our hair. Just like we don't like our eyes and our lips, and we don't like anything about us. We have not been showed that we're good. We've been shown that we're bad. If you're black, you're bad. If you're white, you're good. It's been a brainwashing, but we got to come out of it. That can't be our excuse.
Circumstances. You have been found guilty on all charges. Is there something you could tell the court before pronouncement of your sentence?
All we want is freedom. That's all we want. Freedom. Freedom for children to learn. Freedom for men to work. For mothers to love. For a nation to grow. That's all we want. Equality. For everyone. You see, I am just one of many. A foot soldier. There will be many, many more to follow. So, there is no court of law, no police force, no army that will stop the tide of revolution from turning. There is no punishment that you can lay out in this court. No law your government can pass that will kill the will of the people. Because we will fight. We will continue to fight until all our people are free. And maybe we can even free you from yourselves. So you can hate us, degrade us, torture us, kill us, but we will fight. And we will be free. One day, we will be free. Amanda! Amanda!
Where to? It's time to stand up. It's time to rise.
It's time to rise.
Yeah.
And you heard what she said. It is time to rise.
Yeah.
So it's up to you, young black man, and you, young black woman, to rise. It's time for you to make a change and stop that jiggy booging and bip bopping and twerking and everything and get down to facts. And then after you get the facts, you can twerk, you can jiggy bop, you can do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But right now, we need you to stand firm and take back what belongs to you. And belongs to me, it belongs to us. Okay. Hey, if you like it, wait a minute, girl. If you like what we're saying and you want a conversation with us, join in. Please join in.
Yeah.
Please join in. Like it, comment, make some comments on it, and also subscribe.
Yeah.
We need your help to get the word over and across and across, because it's only 140 years from right now that we were taken over and cut into pies. And today we have given ourselves to them on a tray and say, you can have what we got if you just keep us from killing each other. Now that is really something. Okay.
That's good. At least I know something now that I didn't know yesterday. So
that's why we gotta share it. You got to share it. Okay, hey, we're out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Janetta, and you're watching Africa Speak.